Hi, everyone. Okay, we are going to finish up Unit 2 in Ready Reading. It is an assessment day. Right now, I will be reading to you a folk tale on pages 134 and 135 in your text. Please follow along as I read. And when I am done, we will come back together for any last minute questions and instructions, and then we will begin the assessment. Okay, my friends, let's get started. The folktale is entitled The Lost Camel, a folktale from India. Starting with paragraph 1, where my cursor is bouncing. Here we go. There were once some merchants from across the ocean who traveled from place to place selling their wares. Late one evening, as they made their way up the river, they lost one of their camels. They discovered he was missing when they stopped to make camp that night. Early the next morning, when they set out to look for him, they met a man coming along the road. They stopped and asked him if he had seen a camel. The man told them he had not seen the camel, but he was sure he could tell them where the camel was to be found. The merchants were puzzled by this, and they began to question the man. Was the camel carrying a load? They asked. Yes, the man answered. He was carrying bags of wheat on his left side and a jar of honey on his right side. Furthermore, the camel is blind in one eye and he has a missing tooth. But like I said, I haven't seen him. I can only tell you where you can find him. But you have given a perfect description of our lost camel, the surprised merchants exclaimed. You probably have hidden our camel and intend to steal him. I haven't seen him, and I'm not a thief, the man retorted. But I have lived in this land a long time, and there are some things I know. Then tell us, how do you know he was carrying wheat and honey? The merchants asked suspiciously. I know he was carrying wheat on his left side because grains had fallen along the left side of the path. The bag was probably cut by some branches. Ants were gathering the grains on the left side of the trail. I know he was carrying jars of honey because on the right side of the path, flies were swarming where the honey had dripped. Fine, but how do you know he is blind in one eye? The merchants asked. Because I noticed he had been grazing only on the right side of the path, the man answered. And how do you know he has a tooth missing? Because where he had chewed the grass, he left a clump in the middle of the bite. That told me he had a tooth missing. If the directions you give us are correct, the merchant said, then we will reward you for the good news you have given us. And so they went off to look for the camel, and they found him near the place where the man said he had seen the signs. They were very pleased to find their lost camel, and they rewarded the man who had been so clever. All right, we will come back together for any last minute questions and instructions, and then we will begin the assessment.